In a cozy little burrow at the edge of the meadow, Peter Rabbit lived with his mother and 3 siblings, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail. Peter, as usual, was the most curious and adventurous of the group. One sunny morning, while nibbling on breakfast, Peter overheard some birds chirping excitedly. "Have you heard about the secret garden?" one sparrow whispered. "It's full of the juiciest carrots and sweetest radishes, and no one ever goes there." Peter's long ears perked up. A secret garden? That sounded too exciting to resist. Ignoring his mother's usual warning to stay out of trouble, Peter hopped off, following the birds' directions. Peter's journey took him through a lush meadow and past the old stone wall of Mr. McGregor's garden. Finally, he reached a hidden gate covered in ivy. It looked ancient, with a rusty lock and a wooden sign that read, "Beware of the unknown." But Peter wasn't afraid. "This must be it," he said, wiggling his nose. He squeezed under the gate and found himself in the most wonderful garden he'd ever seen. Brightly colored flowers lined the paths, and rows of vegetables stretched as far as Peter could see. There were purple cabbages, golden beets, and the plumpest carrots Peter had ever laid eyes on. But what caught his attention was a sparkling pond in the middle of the garden. It shimmered in the sunlight, and little frogs hopped cheerfully around its edge. Peter darted to the nearest row of carrots and began munching happily. "This is the best garden ever!" he exclaimed. Suddenly, Peter heard a rustling noise. Out of the bushes emerged a clever-looking fox, wearing a top hat and a sly grin. "Hello, young rabbit," the fox said smoothly. "What brings you to my secret garden?" Peter froze. He hadn't expected to meet anyone here, let alone a fox. I didn't know this was yours," Peter stammered. "I just wanted a little taste of the vegetables." The fox chuckled. "I don't mind sharing, but the garden has rules. If you want to stay, you must help protect it from greedy crows and other intruders. Deal?" Peter hesitated but nodded. He didn't want to leave such a magical place. For the rest of the day, Peter followed the fox around the garden, learning how to scare off noisy crows, shoo away beetles from the lettuce, and even gently guide wayward bees back to the flowers. By evening, Peter was exhausted, but proud. The fox smiled at him and said, "You've done well, Peter. You're welcome to visit any time, as long as you follow the rules." When Peter returned to his burrow, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail crowded around him, eager to hear about his day. "Did you get into trouble again?" Flopsy asked. "No trouble at all," Peter said with a grin. "Just a little adventure." And from that day on, Peter visited the secret garden often, always remembering to respect its magical rules.